Hello, good people. I'm Chris, and today I want to explain a phrase that can be misunderstood. If your money costs you peace, it's too expensive. Let me tell you what that doesn't mean. What it doesn't mean you should never feel stress. It doesn't mean you must already be wealthy. You're doing something wrong if life is hard. I live the other side of this. I know what survival feels like. What it actually means. What it means is this: if your money forces you into constant panic, emotional distress, sleepless nights, reactive choices, then the way your money is structured needs attention. Hey, take my opinion or not, but it could be better, right? The way your money is structured needs attention. Peace doesn't mean comfort, it means control and clarity. Peace creates better decision. When peace increases, something else happens. You stop rushing, you stop forcing outcomes, and you stop reacting. And that's when the better financial decisions start showing up. They do not happen by happenstance. They happen because you get to a point in life where you learn. And you start learning this when you stop rushing, when you stop forcing outcomes, and when you stop reacting. Many of my mentors out here in the land of YouTube over the years, they would say, the market can remain can't remember exactly what the word is, but in other words, the market can remain in a state of flux more than you could remain soluble. In other words, your dry powder and all the money you have is going to run out before the market levels off and start going back upwards. So when I look at my notes here, when they say stop forcing outcomes, you can't force the market to do anything. The market is going to do what the market is going to do. But if you remain consistent in your investing, if you're constantly growing your financial knowledge, if you're making good decisions, sooner or later the market is going to rebound. And when you've made good, well thought out, wise decisions, it's going to show up in your portfolio. Case in point, one of my friends at work, I'm a part of a group chat, right? One of my friends sent out a text in the group chat Friday sometime in the AM, and it was probably about an hour after the market had opened or something like that. I was in the market, pre-market, right? That's from 7 to the market opens at 9:30. I was in there a couple times. I think I looked back in and glanced at it at like 9:45-ish to 10 o'clock, somewhere there about, right? So when I got in that morning pre-market, I was happy where it was. My overall portfolio was up, right? It was up a couple $1,000s. After the market opened, I looked and it was up a little bit above where it was. And then when I seen the chat, it made me laugh. I said, let me see what's going on, because he said, man, look at these markets, it's going bananas. Something to that effect. So I looked in there and it was up even more, right? So I'm like, wow, this is a good day. Then today was up a little bit more than what it was after it was 3 times that it went up, right? That's not normal for the market to just, for your portfolio to look. It's one thing to look up a couple $100, going into 1,000 or a little bit above 1,000. But if you look at it one moment and you're up a couple thousand, you look at it again and you're up a couple thousand, you look at it again and you're up 1,000. It's like $5,000 in the blink of an eye. You're like, oh, you're rich. No, if I was rich, I wouldn't have time to be doing this, right? let me move on. Let me move on. Time waits for no man. Weekly stewardship check-in. Each week, I also ask, am I building steadily, not emotionally? I heard that. Well, keep on listening. I'm going somewhere. For me, that means contributing to strengthening my long-term foundation consistently. Can't say that enough, man. Can't say that enough. Not flashy, not rush, just faithful stewardship. And again, as I say, the many of mentors I have out here in YouTube land. So when I first began my journey in March of 2000, I've said that countless times, right? So I began my journey and I was Googling information to better understand the market. Well, Google owns YouTube. So these YouTube videos was also in the stream of information that I'm looking at. First time I saw it, oh well, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something that I can read, that I can trust. So after a week or two, again, every time I researched all these, and some of the same faces I would see, right? So I clicked on somebody. That somebody happened to be Larry Jones, right? And he was saying some things that it was reinforcing of what I had already been learning in my personal research. I was impressed with how my portfolio was performing from my own personal research and just life lessons, right? So I said, okay, I'll try some of the stuff he's saying because it's reinforcing my thoughts anyway. Excuse me. So I began to try some of the things he said. Even though I was happy with my performance, I was a little bit happier as it was continuing. I say, apparently what he's saying is helping me out, right? So he kept giving me insights. He kept making me aware of certain things. He was bringing me fresh news of what's going on in the market, and he was making recommendations. Then he introduced me to Stocks with Josh, right? Josh had the same appeal to me as Larry did. Then he introduced me to Keenan Grace, right? Keenan was adding to my knowledge and adding to my portfolio, but Larry Jones was adding the most to my knowledge because he just resonated within me, right? And everything he gave me was turning into gold, right? And then he introduced me to Stock Mo. Then I ran across Stock Curry. On my own research, I ran into Myron Golden. Love Myron Golden. Why do I love Myron Golden? Larry had his purpose of what he was helping me with. Same thing with Keenan, Josh, Stock Mo, Stock Curry, Chris Sane, Wall Street Trapper. But Myron Golden, who's also in ministry, right? He was appealing to my Christian senses and my Christian logic and my Christian wisdom, right? And then he was tying it into how the biblical sense drives you in your financial journey, right? And then he was helping my mind work for me because I was already in the markets. I was already in a relationship with the Lord, but the things he was saying were resonating to both sides. So it helped me better shape how mindset was in the market. Then I bumped into Jasper Rees-Singer, who has the minority mindset. I think the man has a beautiful mind, especially in the world of finance. And so those two gentlemen were helping me structure my mindset. Larry is a Christian, but his appeal to these gentlemen, it was like a knockout punch when I had Larry Jones, Keenan Grace, Stock Mo, Stocks with Josh, and then Myron Golden, and Jasper Rees-Singer, Minority Mindset. So the approach that I'm coming across now on my channel, I'm trying to help mindsets first, right? And then when I go from mindset, I could go and touch bases on some other things. But if you don't have your mindset straight when it comes to your financial journey, I don't care who you listen to, Larry Jones, Keenan Grace, I don't care what all these folks share with you, you're gonna be, just by human nature, you're gonna start trying to force things. You're gonna start reacting to things that it's not gonna benefit your overall portfolio. As Keenan Grace let us say, trade with the charts and not with your hearts. I'm not a master chart reader. I'm okay with the charts, right? but I'm pretty good at learning the process and how the process works. I'm pretty good of staying on top of financial news and knowing how to interpret because of my 5 year experience, right? And other things have led to my journey of success and my relationship with the Lord. All of that leads to my financial success in the markets. So all I'm trying to do is push you as hard as I can into the markets, but help you have a proper mindset to help you excel in this financial journey. Okay, I've ran my mouth a little bit too much, so let me close here. Peace doesn't mean you've arrived. It means you're building in the right direction. When you get your mind straight, you can build in the right direction. If this helped you frame how you think about money, like, subscribe, and share it with someone, right? I would appreciate that. So, walk in wisdom, my friend.